You know, I always like try to think of some jokes for this part of the show where we're like working out the lighting and the sound and the, you know, just all the behind the scenes stuff. But every time I like sit here, all my jokes just right out of the brain.
Right out.
Oh, you put your sticker on there. So cute.
Yeah.
I was so worried that you had actually left it.
Nope, I found it.
I like that you're doing like a very
sake themed back to my tablet.
No, you're doing like in a like tile.
Yeah, you know.
I would have gone like crazy style.
I thought about that as well. And I thought that you would have done that. Because that's what you would have done.
Do you need more space?
Probably.
We have a lot of sake tasting glasses today. There's not really...
We do.
Space. There's not even any space for snacks. I thought about it.
We don't need snacks.
Oh.
I mean, maybe not a terrible idea.
We don't have snacks.
We don't have snacks. So we're going to pretend like we don't need snacks because we don't have any. Just going to bring the stream up here so that we can actually interact with people should they decide to pop in.
Scoot your glasses around so you can still reach them. But you're going to do like this way because you don't really have any glasses. There you go.
Maybe I'll just do something like that. I won't be able to type, but I don't need to type. I just need to be able to talk.
All right. Now you have like 2 little layers.
Lucky me.
So we actually have
0 people saw this post.
a lot of glasses.
We do.
We have a lot of tasting glasses, like these just like little ones.
Yeah.
We have, I don't know, how many 1 cups would you say that we have?
Oh, you mean
like,
the little,
like
you
20?
mean the 1 cups? Oh, at least. One day, like when we move one day, we're going to be like, all right, we need to figure, like, there's going to be sacrifices. We're going to lose some of these 1 cups.
No.
Yeah.
Very sad.
It's going to happen. It is very sad. Yeah. All right, so I think...
Do you want to just hang out a little bit? Wait for our peeps to join us?
Chill a little bit. See if anybody wants to hang out with us tonight.
What's the theme of the episode today?
We're going through the last of our batch, and we'll talk a little bit about... I think we'll talk a little about, like, you know, you mentioned earlier in our chat that, like, it would be cool to talk about, like, how we choose places to stay. And I think that we can, like, segue that. We're going to segue that into maybe talking about in the future staying in different places and our reasoning why. And I think it'll be a nice little, like, sounding board.
Yeah, I actually got that idea because I was talking to someone who's going to Japan and has not chosen where they're going to stay yet, and they were asking for like, recommendations. And, you know, I realized it kind of depends, of course, on what you're interested in, but I definitely think that that's something that people who are interested in Japan and going to visit there one day could find very helpful. Also, this is it? I guess we didn't...
No, there's more. There's still a little bit more.
We didn't do...
This isn't literally everything. But I figured 4 bottles is pushing it.
Well, this isn't the last of the batch, then.
Right, but I wanted to, like, empty some of these so that we had some space in the fridge.
So it's not the last of the haul.
No.
It's just the
It's a
middle
little
of the
bit
haul.
more. It's most... It's like the
I was going to be very sad.
2/3, the bottom 2/3 of the haul.
Because I think back to the day that we're leaving, and I'm, like, dragging my suitcases that are so heavy. They're, like, I don't know how heavy they were, but the weight didn't even show up. It just blanked out the scale. It was, like, 1,000,000 pounds over the little bumps in the sidewalks and like down the stairs and up the stairs and on the train. It was crazy. And I was like, it's gonna be worth it. All this extra weight, all this extra sake is gonna last us, like, you know, forever.
It didn't last us about a month.
Oh, well, I guess that makes sense. It just doesn't seem like that much when you think back on it, you know? Because I think we did like 3 and then 3 and then 4.
Oh, 1 cup.
And we did have some 1 cups that we didn't talk about, so I guess that's part of it. It was very distracting.
It's always there. You should I think today, like, you pre-gamed a little hard.
No.
No? Okay. I pre-gamed.
Oh, as I said earlier, it's hard because, so, behind the scenes, when we don't film, for those our friends that are watching, John does all of the hard technical work. He does the setting up the lights and the cameras, and he does, like, the microphone stuff, and there's, like, mixing and, you know, stuff on the computer, and then my job is to just kind of sit here and, like, give him, like, the framing and, like, the sounds and, I guess, the lighting stuff. And it's much easier than his job, but it is very hard to be patient. It takes a long time. It takes, like, 15 minutes probably, at least.
To do what?
You know, for you to, like, do your thing, and I'm, you know, you're setting up the lights and the stuff, and, you have to like be here in front of the camera and like sit, and there's not really stuff to do. So
it's true. You have to like tell the stories.
It's not the hardest job, but it's a little tough. So yeah, now I'm just like ready to go.
You ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
All right.
Did we give enough time for our friends to join us?
We got nothing yet. At least it doesn't look like it. We have no comments yet.
Oh, but it doesn't show you how many people. I'm sure we have a few. We can get started. I did put on
Facebook went nuts.
I did put on the posts today what we were drinking. Well, I only put 3. There's a bonus one here today.
Yeah. Technically, I think this is the bonus one.
So if we had anybody who wanted to drink one with us, they could taste the same ones that we have.
Where are they going to get it? Unless they're in Japan.
Yeah, we have Japan friends. It's they're just going to start drinking at like 8 in the morning.
That's not a terrible thing.
So I was talking to John. I do want to do a Japan friendly live show. So we'll get started at like 8 in the morning on a Saturday, so that all of our friends in Japan can like.
Can we start at like 11? So what if they like got the last train home and they just got home?
I think that's still asking a lot of them.
No, they're not. Then they're already drunk.
If we start at like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, it's going to be 8:30, 9 o'clock at night there, and then they can join in.
All right. Well, I guess we're going to just start. We're going to start. That's an inside joke. Actually, we have this. We have a little director board, and we're going to start the show with it.
All right, start the show.
We're officially starting the show. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the Sake Notes, where we talk about sake and Japan and Japanese sake.
We being John and Michelle.
Yes. I'm John.
I'm Michelle.
In case you were curious. And if you've been following our journey here, our little trip, we just got back from Japan a few weeks ago. In fact, we got back here on the 4th of June. It is now the 22nd, I think.
23rd.
23rd. We're almost to the end of our weekly review of the sakes we picked up when we were in Japan. And here we are. Actually, I forgot to grab the Narutotai. I grabbed 4 others, but not the Narutotai.
So you have 2 others, but not the Narutotai. Oh, man.
Should we grab the Narutotai?
We'll do 5?
Yeah.
Do we have glasses?
Can we have glasses?
Okay.
All right,
I'll grab the Narutotai and you grab the glasses.
Got it.
Try to grab similar sized.
Got it. This is how live shows work, guys. You just kind of show up and then you make things up as you go.
Are there any that we've tasted on here? I thought we tasted the Junmai, this one on.
We've never tasted on the show.
Oh.
Tasted a lot of these things in general, though.
So yeah, secret. These are all already open.
Yeah. So basically,
tasted all of these.
it's not like we're not drinking the sake when we're not on the show. We totally are. And so what we're doing on the show is kind of like trying to. We're trying to not finish them and then actually
This is the most technically not finished. I don't know if you probably can't see. It's here. This is how much left.
That's enough for a mini tasting cup. It's perfect for this.
Or give me 2 of the same ones.
Mm-hmm.
You want different ones so that you can remember which sake is and which tasting cup.
Perfect. Great. Okay.
I usually set up the tasting cups.
She does. She's better at this than I am. So, one of Michelle's favorite sakes in New York is the Narutotai Ginjo Nama Genshu.
I think that was our first episode.
It might have been.
We had the Hulkbuster Iron Man Disney figure because it was very strong, just like Narutotai Nama Genshu.
Yeah. So when we were in Tokyo, I don't even think we were in Tokyo. This might have been someplace else.
I don't remember.
We found a bottle of the Narutotai Junmai, and I was like, well, I want to know what their baseline is. I want to know what's the regular Narutotai tastes like.
I can put it back up there so they can see.
Oh, that's a good idea. So, what does the regular Narutotai taste like? Not their Nama Genshu, not their special super sake, their secret weapon, but what's their regular
Just their
stuff?
everyday stuff.
And as you can see, since we're almost out of it, and actually this is the last of it, it's pretty good. We drank a lot of it. We actually accidentally drank most of the bottle.
It smells so good.
Yeah.
It smells sweet and floral, I think.
It's very light, and it's a Junmai. It should be. You'd think it'd be a little more rich,
It doesn't taste as sweet as it smells.
No, it doesn't.
It's definitely a much more mild, but it does have that like maybe fruity or like floral sweetness to it.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty good. I like this. I remember when I first
It's pretty hearty.
Yeah,
it definitely could go with food pretty well.
And well, it's a Junmai. It should be able to stand up to that sort of flavor. And I was like, this is shockingly good. I mean, it was your favorite sake. It wasn't my favorite sake. So I had limited expectations for it, but this ended up being like terrifically delicious. I was very happy with it. So much so that we ran out just now. Very sad.
Luckily, that's a pretty common one to find in the future. Unlike some that we bring back, it's like the only time we're ever going to find it. So.
So it looks like on the display here, I accidentally, so I put in the Narutotai, and I forgot to put in this guy, the Takachio.
So if we're talking about, this was a favorite that I could get in New York, and then when we were in Japan, we were excited to try a different version of an old favorite. This was probably, just from like as an outside perspective, like seeing you in Japan, I would say this is probably the favorite one.
I was really excited. I got to try it twice. The first time I had it was in Fukuoka. It was randomly one of the 3 bottles of sake that this place we walked into had, and it's the Takachio. It looks like they're doing a line of different sakes that use different rice. So basically, they're kind of like applying their form to a variety of different rices. This is the Miyama Nishiki version of it, which I've recently kind of realized I really love that rice. It's like really good. And then I ran into it again at Panshukan when we were in Niigata, because this is a Niigata sake. And I picked up this bottle, and I also picked up a bottle of their Omachi.
Did we do that one already too?
No, I actually I pre-gamed with that a little bit today. We'll
So
get
I
that
don't
in
know
a
if
future episode.
I don't know if it probably didn't pick it up on the microphone. I don't know if you heard it, but when I opened it, it like
yeah, a little bit.
So fresh, the best.
It's really good. I'm very happy with it. I'm really starting to fall in love with Miyama Nishiki rice, and these guys do a good job with it. I recently learned that one of my favorite Yamagata sakes, the Kodoki Jozu Junmai Ginjo that we get here, is made with the same rice.
So this one I can't really. There's not really much to smell.
There's not a lot.
It's just very, very light.
But it tastes so sweet and not sweet, but fruity and just refreshing.
Yeah.
I really
so
like
this
it.
one I would say is very like a not like the opposite of bold. And what comes to
subtle.
mind?
It's
subtle.
Smooth.
Like what came to mind first is like a dull, but just like a very smooth, balanced, just the same throughout. You get like a long, like elongated, like almost a warm type of flavor to it, I think. Whereas, some of these other ones are like big in the front or big at the end or dry and then sweet. Like this one is just a very...
Which is very much my
consistent,
style.
yeah.
Consistency. I value consistency.
Yeah, I mean, if you've
I'm a
been
baseball
listening
fan,
to the
that's
things
what
that
I
John
like.
likes, he definitely likes this style of just extremely consistent, extremely smooth, very intentional, delicate, I would say. Although this one isn't as delicate as many that you like. Like, I think this one could stand up to food for sure.
Yeah, I would say this is not delicate, but it is a little more aggressive. But it's good, and it knows it's good.
Yeah, and I think this one's so fresh it even still kind of has a little bit of like effervescent taste to it, which I love. That kind of like almost a little soda bubbly.
But yeah, but not it's not
not
sparkling.
Bubbly.
But
it kind of feels like
a little bit on your tongue.
I think that's officially called a mouth feel.
Yes,
we've been to a few like not important, but like serious tasting things where they're actually interested in like what you're getting out of the sake, and there's like worksheets and you like fill out, and there's always like a mouthfeel section, and I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
but
sometimes they call it texture, and I'm like, I don't know about texture either. And I feel bad like knowing, because we say it many times on the show, we are not professionals, and I think that's important. We are enthusiastic amateurs. We want, we're exploring this with you. We're not telling you how it is, because we're just people who are trying sake also. And hopefully, whenever I have a chance, like every sake in a perfect world, every sake I have is the first sake, or the first time I've had that sake, I should say. And that's the goal, is to kind of try new things and be excited about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's next? Do you want to try?
Did you finish yours already?
I did.
Oh, I was trying to savor it. I always try to savor it.
Well, we have a lot of this one. We have some of this.
All right, let's see. So this one I really like.
You do.
This one we've done in the past. We've done recently. We had another one that we brought back from the strip. The face, very recognizable for you to remember.
Yes, the Hyakujuro. That's a 110 if you are not familiar with Japanese numerical situations. And this is the limited version. We found this in the Seibu de Pachika. They happen to have a couple of bottles of it, and we really like the sake these guys put out, so we immediately went and grabbed the bottle.
We also spoke before about how they consistently have the face on the front, and then like this back part is different for each version, different rices, different milling points, like whatever they're changing, it's just different for everyone, which is so fun. So we had the pink flowery one that we did on the show, like I think last week, and then you just saw this black and white one, and here of course is a yellow one. Like it's just so fun, and it's so easy to immediately tell if that's a new one that you haven't had before, because you'll remember, the face. Where sometimes it's a little bit hard to remember, I think, when as we spoke about last time, sometimes the labels like to be very consistent, so you recognize the brand very easily, like we talked about, like with Desai. We talked a little bit about non-Babesian's like beauty series, like that kind of thing. With this one, found a really unique way to, I think, do both. To both be very recognizable, but also you can tell like which ones are different very easily as well.
Yeah, the Sakura that we had tasted a few episodes back, or last week actually, that one used Akita Kamari rice, which is a very distinctive. It gives that Akita sake its special pop. And this one uses the Gohan. I can never pronounce it right. Goyakuhan Roku.
I like how you pronounce
Finally
that like Italian.
I am Italian. That's how I
Gohan
pronounce things. I pronounce them with my. I'm a conductor of my own voice. Goyakuhan Roku, which is a popular sake rice, probably like maybe the third most popular. But I find this one is almost sour. This sake.
I would definitely agree with that. Almost sour. Just very big flavor. Sweet, but yeah, like acidic, I think is what it would be. That sour taste, acidity.
It's definitely mellowed a bit in the couple of days since we opened it. Like when we first opened this thing, it was like sour Skittles. I
noticed that, intense. And I immediately went for my water because I had assumed that this sake was kind of doing like a weird thing. But it's been open for a few days,
probably a week at this point.
But it's still pretty sour.
It is. This one's not a Nama though, which is good.
It has like is that maybe would you say bitter? Like at the end, like an aftertaste. It kind of like rounds and then
it definitely
dryness at the end.
This tastes a lot different than it did when we opened it.
It's
like,
so
I remember that first time we opened it, I was like, it's too sweet, it's too sour. Now it's just kind of. It's mellowed out a lot in a really short amount of time.
I think it definitely would be good with food. It's definitely a very strong flavor. As far as which food, I'm kind of thinking maybe like burgers. Maybe I'm just looking for burgers, but I think burgers, like just a really simple but bold flavor. Like a greasy. Here's your burger. You got your tomato, your lettuce, your bread, and then like this sake on the side. I think.
I'll try. I will. Well. Maybe. We'll see. We can try it sometime.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
I think that this one actually is a little bit harder to kind of... So we're just doing like tasting cups, but there's still 3 or 4 drinks, 3 or 4 little sips in each cup. And this one I think is like such a bold, rich flavor that it's kind of hard to do, to finish this glass.
Yeah, I'm not going to finish this glass.
Yeah, like these other...
This is not a, drinkable... We're going to use the term drinkable sake.
Sippable on the couch sake. This is kind of like a...
It's a little more, you do something with it.
I guess it kind of reminds me of like if you were doing a beer, probably more like a stout. Like just like a thick, something that's kind of going to be like big on its own. Which I guess contradicts the burger thing that I just said. But I still think this would taste good with cheeseburgers.
Oh, you got a stout with a burger.
That's true.
Yeah. All right.
So that's interesting. Yeah, this one I think I'm just going to kind of hold on the side for a bit because it's hard to...
So I'm going to bust out the Tatenokawa. This is one of my favorites from the trip. This was I really loved the sake.
This one we also got from the Seibu Shopping Center.
Yes. Well, we got this from the event. got this
the
at the same
event.
time as we got the Tatenokawa.
So these are the same guys.
Yep, same guys.
Two different.
Yeah, and this is their Nature
branches.
H series, and this is the Pasteurization with
They
a
had-
Z.
Well, they have 3 of these. They had the pink one and the blue one.
They had this one. They had the Pasteurization and the barrel, and the barrel one was like barrel aged, and you can taste the cedar. You really like that.
I remember we had a really hard time trying to decide which of the 2 we would bring back.
I didn't, because I really
Oh,
love this
really?
one. I was totally
Oh.
in love with this.
I had a hard time.
Oh no, this was like one of my favorites of the entire experience. I was like, I'm definitely taking. Maybe it was like, do I take this one and another one? Because I definitely need to take.
We
this
got
one
a
home.
lot of that event. We got this one. We got the anime sake sangria, as I called it, the blend.
Yeah,
I don't remember what else we got from that one. We got a bunch.
it was great. Tatenokawa makes really nice stuff. And
That
I'm
event was
happy
really
with
fun.
it.
We did like a live walk around, and if you missed it, it's probably archived on
It's
Facebook for
definitely
sure.
archived
It
on
should
Facebook
definitely be on the YouTube.
and on YouTube.
Oh, it is?
It should be on the YouTube. It's definitely on the Facebook.
Yeah, you should check that out. That was really fun.
It was. Cheers. Kanpai. Oh, smell it. This
That
is
reminds
this is
me-
prime John sake.
It reminds me of soap. Like a very...
No!
No, not soapy. No, it reminds me of like a soap. Like a floral, light... You know, like if you go to like your grandma's house and she's got like a very fancy little soap basket, you know? It's like a light...
I
very
love
light.
it. So
It's
you're saying it has a
floral.
very floral
A
smell.
delicate, sweet, like a Bed Bath & Beyond, like loofah, like, you know, your delicate flavors.
Flavors?
Your delicate scents.
Yeah, this is a Junmai Daiginjo. Unlike the Tatenyan, which is like just a Junmai Ginjo. And it's just so...
It's very rich flavored.
I really
surprisingly.
love this. I think it's amazing. I think it's so like it turns up the floral, but it also it turns it all up a little bit. It's not like doing it at the expense of flavor. It's like bringing extra flavor in. I think it's really good.
It's definitely very rich. It's a lot deeper than I thought it would be based on the smell. And it's definitely all up front too.
Yeah, the ending is just like very smooth. I would love for them to bring this one over. I think this is great. I think it'd be a market for
it
this
would be very
sake
popular. Yeah, I
in New
definitely
York.
think so. It's got that richness where it would pair well with food because it can kind of stand on its own. But it's also interesting enough that it would be good kind of on its own, like after dinner or before dinner, that kind of thing. It's definitely got that kind of more elegant flavor to it, like that you could definitely picture this easily being served in a wine glass. Like it's definitely got that little extra something to it, I think.
I really like it. I was mistaken, by the way. Earlier I said the Tatenyan was a Junmai Ginjo. I'm mistaken. It's a Junmai Daiginjo. I forgot that everything that Tatenokawa makes is a Junmai Daiginjo.
Wow, very interesting.
They're all Daiginjo. Yeah, they were the
Does anyone else do that we know? I'm sure there's tons.
Desai,
but
for example. But in this case, Tatenokawa was the first brewery in Yamagata to go all super premium, all Daiginjo all the time. I'm going to take a moment really quickly and adjust our blinds because we're getting some sun in our eyes.
Yeah, it's being a little bit blinding.
Yes.
I mean, like the lights are kind of blinding, but the sun is also extra blinding.
Yeah, so that's fixed. But yeah, I mean, so they were the first ones to do that, and they do. You know, these are the guys who go a little crazy with the milling, and I really enjoy what their enthusiasm about it. I think it's like a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. I think we had, what was it, like an 8%?
I think it was 8%.
8%.
But that's not the only one. They also do like 15 and.
They do a 50. They do a 33 and 18. I don't think they sell the 8 generally. I think it's like an experiment.
We had the 8 at a was it a
It was the trading event.
A trading event for like a importer.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. That was a couple of years ago.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think of. Yeah. This was the Nature series though. Good stuff.
It was very nice. Yeah, the other one was. All their stuff is so interesting. It's like they're taking like this very delicate, high-end idea, but doing weird things with it. Like the other one that we spoke about, that was cedar aged and just kind of had like a more traditional,
really
like
interesting
very
flavor.
like older generation, like salaryman, like older cedar barrel aged kind of sake. but made in like the new trendy style, which is like Junmai Dai Ginjo.
Right. Well, and it was specifically a Junmai Dai Ginjo because everything they make is.
Yeah, it was very interesting. And they have the Tatenokawa, which is like very cute, and they have like a line of line stickers and stuff. It's just like very interesting the way they're blending all of these more fringe concepts with a very like higher end like Dai Ginjo.
My understanding is that in Japan it's a lot easier to introduce new product, whereas in the United States it's a lot harder to bring stuff over. So like over there they're kind of more encouraged to experiment, and they can like just make something as 50 bottles and just do it.
Yeah, and if it doesn't work out, like that was it.
But here you really couldn't do like a 50 bottle thing because you have to register it and all this other stuff.
And you have to get it out there and like sample it around at those events like we spoke about with like the importers, and find a restaurant who will carry it for you, or find a store that will carry it for you, or a hotel bar, and get it to them, and then work out your contracts with them. It's like a long process. So you can't really just fire off like a 30 bottle run or something like that, which is kind of sad. Yeah. Makes sense though.
It does. But
now that we're getting more breweries in the United States, in New York, in Maine, maybe we can get some more of those like fancy test batches and like
that would be great.
Because it'll be so easily accessible. It's just like right there.
Well, apparently it's a lot of work. I spoke to a brewer recently, somebody who works for a brewer recently, and they told me that the process of getting the stuff into the United States, clearing it for import, there's a lot of work involved, and then also you have to go through your distributor and get them to sign on to it, and they want to make sure they're going to be able to sell a certain amount because they have to put in a lot of effort to bring out a new product. There's a lot to it. It's the sake business in the United States is complicated. It's multi-layered. You have the brewer, then you have an exporter in some cases, and then you have a separate importer in some cases. Granted, in other cases you have both in one entity, and then sometimes you need a distributor on top of that. So you're like 4 parties before it gets to a store.
Yeah.
Potentially, not always. It could potentially be 2 or 3 parties, but it could be as many as 4. And it's just very complicated.
Can I say that I think I would be interested in trying this one more?
I mean, you can.
I think that the floral, delicate, but still kind of a stronger flavor. I just feel like it might really like that floral tone just might really be really delicate and
Do you mean like room temperature, or you mean like kan sake?
I'm not sure. Like we're learning from our friends in New York and Japan who are doing like warm sake, and maybe it's like their trial and error where every warm sake that they've given me has been amazing, and they're they know so much and they know what will work, and so I'm like, oh yeah, like let's just make it all warm. Like I'm sure it'll be amazing, but I don't know. It just seems like this one has that richness and that like floral sweetness that I recognize in the ones that they've given us, and I don't know. I think it would be kind of cool.
Yeah. Finally, our last one is this.
Oh man, already we're blowing through.
I mean, we can always go back to the other ones, but I want to kind of talk about them a little bit. So this one was really interesting. This was at the end of the event. We were kind of scrolling around a little bit. I was talking to this brewer who I realized we didn't get to have his stuff, and I was really bummed out because I want to have everyone's sake. And it was Hijiri is the name of the brewery, and they are from Gunma. And Gunma makes really good sake. And
we should have used our little I Love Gunma glass.
Oh, yeah. I don't think he's over
there.
Oh,
this
right
one, too.
Yeah.
Wait, I wonder if I seal it and I wait a second, will it do it again?
You probably have to wait like a week. Try it.
Okay, we're going to be really quiet. I'm going to do it for you. Didn't do it.
Didn't
Sorry.
Do it.
Really built that one up.
This one is called Evoke. I'm not 100% sure about the rice, but I think it's Yamano Nishiki. And it is special. It is really good.
So this is interesting. When I poured it in I have like a plain white tasting cup on the inside, and then his has like the blue rings, which are more traditional for tasting glasses. And when I poured it into my white one, I was like, oh, this kind of has like a very yellow tone to it. Do you see that? Like it's very kind of a creamy yellow tone to it. And then I was like, oh, I want to see this over the blue but look at it. It doesn't really look as look at it. Look. It's like very interesting. Like the blue at the
blue
bottom
does add a little something.
Adds like depth to it, so you can kind of see to the bottom. You can see that it's actually not as creamy looking as you would think. And this makes my one. I wish I could show you, but it would all spill out. So you just have to trust us.
Yes. So yeah, this is Hijiri Sake Evoke, and then their like tagline on it, which you're not going to be able to see here, is "We take it personally." And
also, it's font. And,
I love how aggressive this label is.
I was going to say aggressive. That's exactly what I was going to say. So you have your Evangelion tasting cup here, and I was like, it seems like it is like an Evangelion sake. It's very like aggressive.
The naming is like
kind
so
of futuristic. Cool. Yeah, very cool.
I'm hoping this is coming up on the stream, but our ability to see the stream is a little bit delayed. But like I think it's such a cool label, it's a cool bottle. We tried a bunch of his sakes, and he had 2 of them that were not Namos. He had 2 of them that were pasteurized, and this was one of them. And I really, really liked it. Like I thought it was really nice, well rounded.
I think it smells effervescent. It smells.
It
crisp.
does.
You know, I guess I kind of associate textures and situations with the way sake tastes and smells, but that crispness, it's like just very...
The mouthfeel, as you were talking earlier, is totally there.
Oh man, I actually Googled like how to understand the tastes of flavors so that I could like do better on these worksheets, but people don't really make websites about that. So if you're thinking about being like a small blog, I don't know, I'll work on that. Sommelier blogger, I would definitely read that article. I don't know, like to describe stuff. Like, I don't know, like like chocolate undertones and like, I don't know. So when we were preparing to start doing the sake notes as a show, I actually consulted somebody who does a wine show. Yes, a wine master. Are you allowed to say? You can say, right? We didn't ask.
I'm just thinking of it off the top of my head, so I'm not remembering the name properly. However, go to Twitch and go to Jedi Wine Master, and you will find somebody who's going to know a lot about wine. She knows more about wine than I know about sake. Take that any way you want. But I spoke to her a little bit, and I was like, and then I watched some of her stuff to try and see, what does she do to try and make people comfortable? And as somebody who like professionally tastes wine, and the insights I got out of that were like really cool. And the first thing that really came out of it for me was the idea that you don't need to know the labels that other people use when describing a flavor. You need to know the labels that you understand. And so, a long time ago, several years now, when one of our first trips together to Tokyo, we went to an izakaya in Nishi Shinjuku called Yoshimoto. And Yoshimoto's...
one of my favorite places.
It is one of our favorite places.
It's best. We didn't go there this year.
We didn't. Yoshimoto's entire thing is that they do a really, really broad variety of kikizake tasting sets. And
you know, I think
by the 3rd set, we're pretty lit.
They're tall. Mm-hmm. And I was gonna say, like, we didn't go this year because I think we maybe have graduated from it, because we've been there now like 5 times.
We've had all of their sets.
And we've had all of their sets.
They haven't updated them, so I mean, if they got new stuff all the time, we would totally do it.
But it's great because they have the labels, like, you know, like photocopied, like the sets are on the wall with the pictures. So you can just like point if you don't understand or speak Japanese, which is what we don't. I don't know. Point stuff. You can pick labels based on if you like them or if you like you know, like the way it looks or whatever. They're good recommendations. They're very fun. They don't really speak any English, so yeah, you just gotta point. But it's great.
The chef is also outstanding.
And like as we learned more about, so we've talked a little bit about this before, but like the more and more that we learn about sake, the more that we can appreciate it, and the more that we understand, and the more that we know what we like, so we can ask about specific rice types, which you love to do. We can ask about specific regions, which I love to do. We can ask about the way that they brew it, like if it's like an age process, or, you know, like the Kimoto style. Like, so many different labels and words and phrases as we learn that we like to ask about, which gives off the air that we know a lot about sake, which I guess we have a lot of experience with sake.
It's funny. What more?
And then, I was going to say, and then we go to these events, like these 300-piece tasting events, or these like tiny izakayas that are run by old ladies that don't speak English, and we're asking these questions, and they just like assume a lot that, like, you know, you could probably read Japanese, right? Like, you would think that you go there so much, and so many times we ask questions. And Yoshimoto, the last time that we went, I had learned that I loved Hiroshima sake, and I was like, do you have any sake from Hiroshima? And she like opens the menu, which is very clearly in Japanese, bolded by region, and she's like naming, like pointing to like a big block letter, like size 25 font. No Hiroshima, obviously. And I was just like, oh man, that's so embarrassing.
That's the second most embarrassing. Because the most embarrassing for us was the time that we were at the tasting event in Shibuya, not this year, but the previous year, and the booths were all organized.
That was the one I was
by
talking about, the
prefecture.
PIA tasting event. It was the 300, I think, at least. And that event was so fun. I wish we had been doing filming back then.
That would have been fantastic.
Because the booths were all the way around, like with tables, and then the brewers were there, and they were mostly like very small breweries. And there was like water and like little spittoons, I guess, so you can like taste it and then spit it out. And you're standing there and you're speaking to these people. It's like, this is my family's brewery. Like, not only do I make the sake, but I also built it with my hands. And like, I spoke to a mother and daughter who worked at the brewery, who hand placed all of these little flower stickers on every single bottle, like 6,000 bottles over, the course of the year, just like hand covering it in stickers. And you're supposed to be like, oh, this is great, and then just like spit it out in front of their face. Which I cannot do that. Like, they're talking to me about their sweat and their tears that are like just encapsulated in these bottles because it's so much work, and they're just so, they're so proud of it.
This is really great.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, no, so we drank all of the sake.
But it's the thing about the pre-purchase,
so
where you're like, where is this from? And the guy's like,
So back then we didn't know how to ask that. Or maybe we did, but because we could read the names of rice or the names of the labels that we recognize, places, that kind of thing, when we asked like, where is this from, I think that they were confused, and they were always telling us something else weird, and we're like, what? I don't understand what we're doing wrong. Like, I really think that that's how you would ask that question, like, the way we were saying it, and we never got our answer. And finally I find a guy who speaks English. I think it was a Shichida, because he had like the rainbow.
Well, Shichida-san does speak pretty good English.
I think that was the booth. I remember because they had so many different all of their labels, so it was like very rainbows, very pretty. And I asked him like, "Where's this from?" And he was like, "Do you see this giant sign right here that says that clearly where it's from? And all of the other signs behind every other. This event is organized by prefecture this whole time." So we go to these people with just a blinding sign behind them, like, this is the Yamagata sake, and we're like, where is this sake from? And they're like, I don't think I must.
Well,
be.
It's sometimes
they're like,
it's hard to assume that you're illiterate, and the problem is that we are, when we go to Japan, we're illiterate.
And it sounds very understandable when we explain it to you from our point of view, but if you're the point of view of other people, I'm sure it's crazy. And I don't think that the Yoshimoto experience is the second most embarrassing. I would say that's the third, because that was just between me and you and them until now with you guys. But I would say the second most embarrassing, I'd say that one was number one, because that was like a pretty big event, and that was just very, very embarrassing.
I'm having more of this, but
okay. I would say the second most embarrassing one was at the Seibu Shopping Center brewery event. We were filming. We were doing a live video. Mm-hmm. I think we were at the Tatenokawa, specifically. I think we were tasting.
Yes, definitely.
And we asked, I think it was that one, and we asked where it was from, and again the lady was like, and then this other man who was tasting it with us was like,
It's Yamagata. It says
Yamagata.
Right there. There's a photo of Yamagata.
He pointed at the sign that said Yamagata in Japanese, Yamagata, and like pictures of Yamagata, just like the little, the area itself, not all of Japan with a star, just like the little area itself. And it was like, not only did that happen like to someone while we were trying to do it, but it was also like live.
Yeah, live on screen.
I think when I told him, I was like, I'm sorry, we can't read.
By the way, I think I did say
But
that.
after that, I learned how to read Hiroshima. I learned how to read Yamagata.
Yeah, that's how we learn.
Yeah.
You had wanted to try this when it got a little warmer. It got a little warmer.
Right,
I just tasted it, and I believe it was this one.
That was the second one, right?
Nope.
Yeah, so that one was this one. This one was this one, and this is that one.
Okay, great. Yeah, it definitely warmed up a little bit.
Yeah.
This is the Nature H from Tatenokawa, and
Yeah, I like it.
I love it. I think it's really great.
It reminds me more of sake that we would have kind of in like shimbashi, like underground with some like skewers, some
skewers
gyoza.
and Junmai Daiginjos.
That's what it tastes like to me. I don't know.
I think it's wonderful.
Maybe I'm a fancy salary man. Also, in Japan, the Junmai Daiginjo isn't expensive like it is here.
It's true. It's true.
It's very, very affordable in Japan. But yeah, maybe I like, okay. Like, if you go here in New York and you get your, like, dollar hot dog, and, I don't know, like, you're, 15 aged, hot dog and scotch, I don't know, maybe.
I can see that a lot.
He's looking at me like I'm crazy, but I know some of you out there would totally eat that. Just like you would totally eat warm Nature H with some skewers.
I like the Nature H better. I like it better when it's chilled. I think it's still very good room temperature, which is I think where it's approaching right now.
I don't know. I like it. I'm liking it.
I'm really bummed out that I'm running out of this because
I like it right now.
Again, this was like one of my most favorite sakes from the trip.
Chiz, if you're watching, I think some experiments are due.
You want to try to sake this?
Yeah.
Make it warm.
Sake caliente.
Oh, I don't know. The label says respect for nature.
And it's like beautiful in the mountains.
Yeah. It's really I really like that they're branching out and trying new, interesting things. I wish that we were able to get some of those here. But again, I know it's really hard to import. But in the meantime, I will keep getting them from Japan, enjoying them, and telling everybody to. The way I figure it is if people here are know about something and they taste it and they want to have it, and there's enough of a market for a certain type of sake or a certain flavor profile, like the brewers are going to go out of their way to get that stuff over here. The importers are going to do it. The exporters are going to make it happen. And this, I think that like this Nature Age is, I think this can really make. I think this can really do well here. I think this is a really good sake.
It is definitely reminding me of the same style, flavor profile of many of the sakes we get here. I want to say kind of.
I think it's
kind of like Nambu Bijani, just that very like balanced, floral, like sophisticated. And we see Nambu Bijan everywhere.
Yeah, Nambu Bijan is a huge brand in New York.
Yeah, and I think that it has that same kind of
potential
smoothness, just that like very palatable to many different types of people. I think that's where I was going with that train of thought.
It's really good.
We should probably do a sake break and answer some questions.
All right. Well,
I saw that Tyler, best friend of the site.
Yes, he asked a question. All right, so he asked about the Twitch thing, and it's because in a previous episode we talked about maybe doing some Twitch streams wherein I would play video games and drink sake.
And we did one of those on
We did
Facebook.
one. We just didn't do it on Twitch because Twitch hates us sometimes. And short version is we totally did it on YouTube Live, and it was the Sake Notes cross Neo, or more importantly, it was Neo cross Nihonshu, wherein I played Neo, which is a game on the PlayStation 4 that takes place in a mythologically enhanced version of the Sengoku period of Japanese history. So you basically have like Japanese historical figures and demons, and you are a white dude fighting both of them. It's really weird, and I thought that it would go really well with some sake. So I played a bunch of that and drank about a half a bottle of Masumi Arabashiri Nama. And had a good time. I'm going to do more of this. I thought it was fun, and I got some good reactions out of it.
So Tyler specifically asked about Twitch.
I don't know if I'm going to do Twitch.
Why?
I want to keep all our stuff in one place, or at the max 2 places, and
ideally
opening up to 3 places makes it hard.
Ideally, we would want to stick on YouTube, I think. Because that's kind of, you can search it, it's very easily archived.
The goal is everything on YouTube.
Because, like, so with Facebook, you have to kind of, like, go through, like, timelines and albums, and it's just, like, it's not really meant to be, like, kind of like a video archive, whereas YouTube is meant to be an archive of video. So that is where we would like to go, but until we get, like, a certain amount of followers, 100, I think it is.
Yeah.
We cannot have a specific URL, so we can't have youtube.com/thesake-notes, which is very easy to link to, very easy to remember. It just gives us a random thing every time until we get 100 followers. So we're sticking on YouTube or Facebook Live for now because we do have facebook.com/thesake-notes, which is easy to link, until we get 100 followers, and then we're going to move to YouTube probably.
You know what does not get better when you let it warm up? This guy.
Oh, so Tyler, BFFFFL of the site again.
Yes, I believe the Twitter did announce the stream for the Neo, and it's at the Sake Notes.
Yeah, so I mostly, well, that's not true. We both take over the Instagram. It's definitely a team effort. Yeah. I think more.
It's all a team effort. We
behind the scenes, I think, is more like the tagging and the marketing, that kind of thing, is more what I would do. So I pretty much stick to the Instagram, and then you kind of translate that onto the Facebook, I think.
Right.
And then you do the Twitter all the time too?
I just share the Instagram stuff to Twitter.
Right. So Instagram is really, like, we're very active on that. We do that all the time. We share from Instagram to Facebook and Twitter. So I guess, yeah, if you are on any of those, you'll get it. And I know a lot of people these days don't have all of those. They just have one or the other, or maybe they have one but they don't really check it. So we're on kind of all of those things, and whatever you use, you'll see it.
Also, the Neo Cross Nihonshu is archived at YouTube, so you can go there and watch it anytime you want. Grab a bottle of sake, watch me really not play very well.
So we did not, we didn't announce it very far in advance, and I guess we usually don't. But it's just kind of hard to kind of plan exactly when we'll be available and have all of the stuff set up and ready. But we'll definitely try to get better about that. If a lot of people are interested in playing with us, and part of the Neo Cross Nihonshu that we wanted to do was you also bring a sake that you like, and like while you watch and chat and discuss and enjoy. So if we can get that out there faster, then you'll be able to join us.
Yeah. The goal right now, so we've been trying to do a show every Friday or Saturday night. So the weekends, we're trying to get at least one show out where we're here, we're in this spot, we're doing our thing, we're tasting some sake. The video game stuff, I tried it on last Tuesday, but Tuesdays are a little shaky. Sometimes it's hard to know when it's going to happen. But I'm going to try to do them periodically.
We were calling that one the Sake Notes After Hours.
Yes. You know, maybe on Sunday afternoon, I'll just get drunk and play video games. I don't know. I mean, no, I will taste sake and play a video game while describing both experiences. If you watch my Neo Cross Nihonshu, you know I just got drunk and played video games.
Also, he came with that name all by himself. And if you know John Pumana, I was great with the puns.
I'm not good with the puns.
That was very good.
But I do, like, Neo's a really great game, and everybody should play it. It's so good. And sake's awesome, and everybody should drink it.
We have lots of ideas, but we have people both in Japan and New York and across, like, all over the United States as well. So it's kind of hard to, like, pick a good time for us and for them and for everybody. But if there's stuff that you're interested in or you want to see more of, let us know and we'll do that. You know, if people want to see it, we would love to share it with you.
Yeah, we definitely do need to do as you mentioned, you came up with this idea. It's like doing a 9 p.m. Japan time show for our Japanese fans.
8 a.m. for us. So we would, like, wake up, crack it on, and do a show.
And then just like and grab sake that like they have in New York and be like, this is normal New York sake.
Oh, it would be so sad. Saturday.
Tyler would be more than happy to play games and taste sake.
Well,
I don't know. Maybe what we need to do then is do like Heroes of the Storm, and you get something to drink and I get something to drink.
Hot sake.
No!
Hot sake. This is who comes with the puns. This guy.
That one? This is the guy?
Yeah, and if you're only into sake and not into video games, Heroes of the Storm is abbreviated as HOTS, like that's what people refer to it as. And hot sake is the thing, as you know.
I'm like...
Hot sake. So
I become very bad at that game when I'm drinking, though. Maybe that's more entertaining, I don't know.
Hot sake. We need to buy a thing right now.
Hotsake.com? Hotsake.info?
No,
Hotsake.cool?
No, it would never be .cool. It would be .hot.
Hot.
Hotsake.hotsake.nyc.
I'm gonna make the
Okay,
Nature
well, I
H
got
go
dibs
away.
on this one.
Alright. I'm gonna do the Nature H because I love it.
I like it warm. No, I meant we go on Amazon and buy one of those boxes with the things.
Oh, I thought you were talking like URLs. Like, buy all the URLs.
No, not URLs. You gotta buy a hot sake maker.
Hot sake maker is a cup.
I don't get ao sake.
Overwatch. He wants to play some Overwatch because he knows he can rip my ass in Overwatch. That's in 30 seconds. He's gonna write back and say, "That's right," because I'm not very good at Overwatch.
Well, unfortunately, Overwatch.
But I'm really good at Heroes of the Storm.
Unfortunately, Overwatch is not making as good of a sake-related pun, so I think we're gonna have to stick it to hot critters instead.
Also, like, I really need to be on my game for. God damn, this sake is good.
It's so good warm too, and this one too. I was gonna say kind of like mellowed out. It got that deep like.
That's right. He says he knows. He knows.
Well,
I see him playing. Heroes of the Storm.
You know, it could be fun to do like a community event, like a Skype.
No, we don't want to Skype. You don't want to Skype.
Where everyone has their sake and they're tasting and talking. And...
Can you get sake wherever Tyler is?
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to like not be obvious about things.
Yeah, don't triangulate.
Don't triangulate. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know you can get Moscato where Tyler is. I don't know if he has
No, give me 2 hours, like 2 hours north. Well, yeah, of course.
You have to get Moscato?
Alright, so, ranking...
Hot sake. He would love to play hot sake. I don't know what the name of that game is exactly.
Hot sake.
Oh, Jesus. I hate you both.
So good. Alright, so for me, my shell ranking, I'm going to say...
You can put them in order.
I'm going to.
Put the bottles in order.
Alright, we're going to go... How do they see it? Which was number one? Which one makes sense? Where's the delay? Alright, so we're going to go this one. Alright, here's my... I would say these two are very, very close. I would say warm. I would put maybe this one because it just opened up so much more, whereas this one got a little duller. In a good way, but maybe this way, maybe this way. It kind of depends on my mood. But these two are the top. This one, then this one, then this one.
You didn't like the...
It's not that I didn't like it. I just thought that it was very, like... very simple. I'm not really...
Honestly...
This one I think I liked a lot more because of how...
That's so good.
Interesting that it was, and I really liked that it was bubbly. It's not effervescent, it's just very fresh. But I liked that. It's crisp. And if you're in Japan, that's how it's always going to taste for you, so... Very exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say...
I'm going to make some... Alright, so...
This is the My Shell.
This is the My Shell.
Yeah.
She likes the Nature Race the most.
These two are basically tied. I wouldn't say the most. I would say these two are, like,
you picked one
interchangeable. All right, well, here. Did you drink all of it? Can I do a taste test?
No, I drank it all.
No, there's a little bit left.
All right, do it. Just drink out of the bottle. It's fine. We're not fancy.
So fruity.
Isn't it?
So fruity. Very strawberries, just, like, very fruity. And then this one, I think it got really fruity at the end there. Very strawberry flavor. But this one is like a sugary...
I don't think this is good warm.
This is like a sugary, bold, sour, like dessert sake. I don't know. I like them the same for different reasons.
Alright, so my shell says...
Like, I like wearing socks, and I also think umbrellas are helpful. Like, I don't know.
My shell says tie for first.
Yeah.
Second, third, fourth.
Well, it's tied for first, third, fourth, fifth.
Sure. My thing is a little different.
Wow, it's pretty different. Really?
I don't like the sour.
This one is so strong. And if you know my flavor and you've seen the things that I've liked on the other stuff, I definitely like big, bold, crazy, weird stuff. I specifically ask for weird stuff. He likes the smoothest, delicate stuff, so I guess that makes sense.
Okay. This guy, this right here, the Nature Rage.
But it's weird that we both like this one.
It's fantastic.
It's so versatile that I like the weird.
It breaks barriers. It's so good. No, this is a fantastic sake. I really love this one. The Evoke, honestly, I thought about making it to the front, but the Evoke is...
Really?
I really like it. It's a good, strong second. This guy right here, my...
I'm surprised they took this so far down, because as I said earlier, you were so all over this one.
I was very high on it.
You had two different ones. Two different styles of rice.
But the Evoke really got something from me, and the Nature H, I guess it blew me away. The Nature H was a very special sake.
You'd had this one before at the Seibu event.
I had it at the
You hadn't had this one before.
I had I had this
You didn't have the homage.
Right. Which is not a part of this.
The other one.
The two sakes that I had sight unseen ironically, are these two. Because I had not had this before I bought it, and I had not had this before I bought it. This one reminded me of like a Kizan. It was like so sour, and that's not my style.
Takashi, if you're watching this, you're gonna love this.
I already told him on the side. And the Narutotai is really good. It's great Junmai. But it's a great Junmai. And these are great Junmai Ginjos or great Junmai Dai Ginjos.
That's true.
And,
Wait, what was this one?
That is the Junmai Ginjo. But it's not my style.
And this one's Dai Ginjo.
Yeah. Dai
This
Ginjo,
one is...
Junmai Ginjo, Junmai Ginjo, Junmai.
Interesting.
Yeah. And the milling percentage is what's tied to the Junmai Dai Ginjo thing. But
it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be better.
It doesn't mean it's better. It just means it's milled more. It just means there's a little more work went into it. It doesn't mean it's a better drink. It doesn't mean it tastes better. Your tastes are going to be yours. And you might be like, no, I had this like table sake and I thought it was delicious.
So last night, I actually wanted to talk about this.
This is a great idea.
We're on the same page. So last night we went to a new, like last couple of months. So new, sake bar in New York. If you're in New York, it's in K-Town, 32nd.
Right.
And I think Broadway, right on the corner at Herald Square.
Right. It's a East Sake bar. It's in
So it's technically connected to the hotel.
Right.
That's kind of it's the hotel bar. Don't know.
I don't know.
But it's at the very end of the block of 32nd and like Broadway. Right at Herald Square, there's the big Macy's where the parade goes through. 32nd. That's where it is. And they have great happy hour. So we finally went to go check it out last night. And we met someone who... Oh, I guess we should talk about it first. Swank. Very cool. Big doors. The bathroom is like tile like on the floor. It's very cool. The bar is big and it's got cool lighting. Very nice atmosphere. They have way more sake behind the bar than they have in the menu.
Yeah.
But behind the bar, they got some good stuff. They had the Hakai-san Snow Aged, which... Are they selling here? They sell it here.
They sell it. They don't sell it at that bar, though.
No, they don't. No, but like
I know some bars that sell that, but they don't sell it.
But they had like some cool stuff behind the bar, but that was different from the menu. The menu
was good.
We could do a whole episode on its own. It was so informative. It is the most informative sake menu, sake thing that I've seen in
the United States
for sure. It had the very first. So it said sake menu. The first page was what is sake and how is it made, and it's like the ingredients for sake, what goes into it, including like fermentation and like how to make koji and yeast, and like that was the first page. The second page was sweet, like it was like the box with the graph about sweet versus dry, and it was about Junmai Ginjo, like what that means. The bottom of the second page was hot versus cold sake. Like the sake menu did not even start talking about sake until the third page. Like it really wanted to help you understand what sake is and how it tastes. And I think that that's a product of where it is, because that area is extremely touristy. That's like Herald. It's very, very, very popular. So that was super cool. And then it was organized by type, so Junmai Ginjo, Junmai Dai Ginjo, that kind of thing. Which in New York, that's how it is. But each section, it explained what that means, and they had a really interesting sake selection, like cool stuff that we love to get. It was hard to choose.
Yeah, they tend to err on the side of dry at this place.
Yeah,
but it was a good selection. So when I started getting the sake, honestly, when I started getting the sake in New York, I saw a lot of selections like this. By the way, what do you think about this? It got warmed a little bit, a little more vanilla.
I was going to say grapes.
Really?
Vanilla and grapes.
Well, smell it. You smell that vanilla. Yeah.
I put that one third, right? That was my third choice? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
This is a really interesting sake. I really like it. I want to try more from these guys in the future.
We thought the prices were higher.
All right, so
we thought they were a little higher, but on the back they had a selection. I think they had about 17, not the whole menu, but a smaller selection of about 17 that you could choose 3 of to make your own set for $15, which is a great deal.
That's a good price.
In New York, that's a great deal. And on that part where they have the pictures, they are organized into columns of sweet, mild, dry, very dry. So even when it's just like a group of their sakes, they're still teaching you about what sake flavor is. And each picture of the sake in the menu had is it SBV? SMV?
What you're referring to, the sake meter value?
Sake SMV.
Okay.
Like, they had so much information. I couldn't believe it. And not only was it information that someone who is very much into or works with sake would appreciate, but they introduced it to you in a way where if you had never seen sake before, you would understand. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. I asked them who their sake sommelier is, like who's doing the sake for them, but the people that I spoke to didn't really know.
And the bartender, honestly, the bartender didn't seem to be appreciably knowledgeable about sake, which is unfortunate. But whoever designed their menu, really passionate about sake.
If you know who did it, I would love to know.
Big ups.
If you could email us or comment or Twitter, whatever you want to do, I would love to know because it was amazing. It was really so good. So good.
For me, that place has, and this is a cheat because I'm me, they have one of my favorite sakes that nobody carries, which is Onanakase, which is made by Wakatake. Wakatake is, at least in New York, very famous for making Onikoroshi, which is the Demon Slayer. And Americans, they hear Demon Slayer, they really want to drink that sake. Which is fortunate because it happens to be very good sake. The Onanakase, however, is make the girls cry. It's less marketable.
It comes in a square bottle. It's very cool.
It's a square bottle with a woman crying on it.
Well, it's like the kabuki style, like.
And but I haven't had it in a long time, many months, and it was great to have it again. And ooh, this is warming up really interestingly.
Do you like it?
I don't know. Is it this? Yeah. I'm not sure if I like it or not.
He's not sure if he likes it because he knows what it is. But it's good. Warming it up is good. These two.
You want to con sake the shit out of that?
I'm not trying to. Oh.
Chizuko!
I thought you said con sake, like I'm conning you into tasting it.
No, con sake means like warm sake.
No, I know that now.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we thought that the prices for the glasses were a little steep. But I was like, I mean, it's steep, but we're in a very touristy area.
In a hotel bar. Hotel bars are traditionally expensive.
Yeah, and this is like, like the Macy's Broadway. It's, it's like, I see why they're doing it. It's still expensive, but that's what it is.
Yeah, the Onanakase was...
So you ordered a glass. I got a tasting set. He got a glass.
It was $25, which is extremely high for
like, how much does a bottle cost?
There was a bottle price. I don't remember what it was.
Well, I mean, like, if you wanted to buy it yourself.
I think it was like 110. But anyway, I was like, no, I just want a glass. And there was a little bit of confusion with the bartender, who, again, did not really know a lot about sake.
I mean, I guess they're new. It was a little busy. They had me move out of the... Which was fine. Like, whatever. Totally fine. Just to have me scooch over so that they could fit even more people at the bar. So they were just very busy.
But when I ordered my glass, I was, like, somewhat expecting kind of...
Not like quite like that. I was expecting like a wine glass.
Anyway, what ended up happening was
like
he gave me this most bizarre series of events. He filled a carafe, a small carafe.
If you are brand new to sake, that's the little wooden box.
Oh, carafe. He filled a carafe.
Oh, carafe,
not a masu. He filled a carafe and then poured a glass of sake.
It was a mini carafe.
But it was a good amount for $25. For a super premium, very rare sake. I was very happy with that.
And then he poured that into a glass that was also an amasu.
Yeah.
Which this is a amasu.
Yeah. Which was a little weird.
Little box. So it was like a lot. It was like 2 or 3 glasses.
One night we need to do like all like taru sake in masus.
Yes.
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 Okay.
Yes.
One of these days.
I definitely love the weird, deep, old man, smoky, Kimoto style Namagenshu sake. Like, bring it on. I'm ready.
But we also need to do an episode where we take a sake, and then we also take a food.
A pineapple?
No, not a pineapple. We take a food that was perhaps branded with that sake name on it.
Oh!
Perhaps a curry. And we have the curry.
This is a crazy episode. Are we going to get into that?
No, we're not doing it right now. We're curry.
We're going to talk about it?
We're talking about. We're teasing. This is a tease. This is the tease. This is the after credit sequence where somebody picks up Thor's hammer.
In Hiroshima, we were in the train. It was Hiroshima, right? Yeah. We were in the Hiroshima station forever. Was it Hiroshima?
No.
Yes, because Hiroshima is close to Yamagata. So when we were on the train
you're right,
and we were in Hiroshima, we kept thinking the train is going to give us like Hiroshima fresh sake, Hiroshima water. It's going to be amazing. Like it's going to be because Hiroshima is very well known for being amazing.
As it turns out, this train also goes through Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi's best export is Dasai.
And so they were like, "Oh, this train goes through there." So they just sold Dasai, and it was like, "No, Dasai's like amazing, but we could get Dasai."
I had Dasai 39 on my train. I was having a good day,
which was great. It's like such a cool sake to have, and it's like very well known, and it's amazing. But I was a little sad because I wanted just some like dirty, gritty Hiroshima,
some Hiroshima Jisake.
If I am not an outside person, but if someone was like, climb this mountain for like an hour and get up there, and there's just this old man like stirring his nigori pot of sake in a thing, I would be like,
I don't think you just stir sake on a mountain. How do you press it?
Oh.
Okay. Point is,
something about the signs.
Point is that in the Hiroshima train station, my shelf found.
We're telling it. We're not teasing it. We'll show it.
We'll show it. We're teasing it because we're not doing it today. But she found Dasai curry.
And I didn't tell John about it. I actually showed it to him. I did take a video, but it wasn't live. Just to let him open it and like figure out what the deal was.
Wait, this is a Panchukan.
Oh, this is not the sake.
That's not. That's a sake kasu.
I saw it on the side and I thought that it was.
This bag actually has Hakai-san kasu in it.
Yeah, it has Hakai-san, also
sake
known
leaves.
as sake leaves. Like so, when they press it, like the extra bits.
She's going to make cakes out of this.
All right,
I am going to be an extremely happy man. Really.
So
I'm already a happy man.
It's not in the fridge. It's up here.
No, it should be in the fridge.
It's not in the fridge.
It was in the fridge.
It was never in the fridge.
It was in the fridge.
Does it need to stay in the fridge?
I think we should leave it in the fridge.
Well, it's not in the fridge. It was in the cabinet.
Put it back in the fridge. Anyway, so yeah, this is the Dasai curry. Junmaishu kare Dasai. You put it in boiling water or a microwave at 500 watts for an amount of time that we're going to translate at a later date.
Yeah, it's in Japanese, so who knows?
Yeah, so our goal with this is to pair the Dasai curry with Dasai 50 on the show in the near future. So I am a man who loves curry and loves Dasai 50. So that sounds like a win.
And it's so weird. Like, what?
I wouldn't pair... You know, actually, wait. I'm going to stop and correct myself.
I thought originally this was curry made with, like, Dasai leaves or something, which it might still be, but it specifically said that it pairs with Dasai 50. And there's a picture of Dasai 50. Like, it's Dasai branded curry.
I'm gonna say something now that's gonna blow up their spot, or maybe somebody else's. So one time, many moons ago, I went to Sakamai and I ordered their curry. Sakamai is a very fantastic sake lounge / izakaya in the Lower East Side of Manhattan. And at the time, the manager was Jamie Graves, who knows a lot.
Friend of the site.
Yeah.
Jamie.
Yeah, and knows a lot about sake. I ordered the curry, and he came up and was like, I see you ordered the curry. And I was like, yes. And he's like, I'm going to suggest something that's really unconventional. And I'm like, I'm ready.
Perfect.
And he's like, Dasai 50. And I was like, you're out of your mind. And he's like, no,
Because
no.
when you think of Dasai 50, it's kind of like a more of a lighter...
It's a Junmai Ginjo. It shouldn't pair with curry. It's like super smooth. I'm wrong, by the way.
Obviously, Jamie was ahead of his time.
Yeah, I tried it and it was delicious. It was so good. So maybe that's where they're going with this.
Jamie, if you're watching, did you make this? Was this your idea?
Maybe. Jamie, We want to know your secrets.
Do you want to come help us cook this? It was your idea.
Apparently, you just put the pouch in boiling water. I don't think we need them to cook it.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well.
Anyway.
So, upcoming episodes
may or may not involve Desai Curry.
They will involve video games and sake. Please join us. Whether it's hot sake or... I can't. We have to do that. It's amazing.
I hate everything.
More Nihonshu.
Definitely more Neo across Nihonshu.
I think we should do Rock Band and sake. Because,
how drunk do we need to be to play Rock Band with sake?
Well, Bitmoji had like a Rock Band pose, so I think that would be a fun ad.
I really like this Evoke. It's so good.
I got so you've probably seen, if you're into Japanese culture, they have these like kits with like powder and a spatula. And
I think most people are not familiar with this.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So in Japan, I mean, you can like go on Instagram or like Google or YouTube or whatever, and it's like a kit. And what is inside of the kit is different colored powder, a little spoony spatula thing, and just like a tray, right? And it's like add water and stir in different amounts or ways, and it turns into stuff. Like you can make little cheeseburgers, you can make like your own fake McDonald's, and I don't know, it's crazy. It's just powder and water, and it turns into food. And I got one with sushi, but it's candy. It turns into candy sushi. I don't know, with water. I'm gonna try to figure that out, and we'll pair sushi with sake because everyone knows that sushi and sake go very well together.
What, sushi and candy?
Candy sushi and sake. Who knows?
We'll find out.
We have a lot of stuff coming up.
Future episode.
So if you want to see it, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
And now for the final big push.
We'll let you know.
We are doing something new.
Oh, what are we doing?
We're doing a tasting event. Yes! If you are in New York and you like sake, or you want to know more about sake.
Or you like us.
Or you like us.
Or you like
for
food.
some reason.
Or you like Chinatown.
We are doing on Tuesday, the 27th, we are doing a tasting event, a taste of Yamagata, my personal...
So John did this event himself. It's his tasting set, like specially custom designed, the Taste of Yamagata, because that's his favorite prefecture, by John
My
Luna.
favorite prefecture.
Signature set.
And we're going to be doing tasting sets at Rabbit House in, it's near Chinatown. It's on 4th Side Street. Google it, you'll find it.
It's kind of like the B and D, F.
It's near there, yeah. And we're doing a 3-piece Yamagata tasting set for $18. And then discounts on the glasses should you find one that you really like. Also, 25% off all of the appetizers.
If you're there for the event.
Yeah, if you're there. You can't show up another time and be like, I want 25% off appetizers because I watch Sake Notes. That's
so John's the brains behind this. It's his signature set. He's the one running it. So I guess I'll be there and live streaming, doing interviews, that kind of thing.
One of these days we'll do the Hiroshima set and that'll be my shells and I'll be the guy.
It'll be the Hiroshima Genshu set.
I don't think there's that many Hiroshima. I don't think
Are
there's
there at
any.
least 3?
No, I don't think there's any in the United States.
Hiroshima Genshu.
Find a single Hiroshima Genshu.
No, first I'll find a mule and then I'll do a Hiroshima Genshu set.
You can't sell them legally.
I won't do that.
Okay. We will not do that. What my shell's gonna do is she's gonna go in thinking she's gonna do a Hiroshima set and she's gonna come up with a Kochi set instead. Watch.
Well, anyway, so if you're in New York, please join us. You can check Instagram, Facebook for the details.
It's from 7 to 9 o'clock
Well, check
p.m.
the details. I made a beautiful poster.
She did.
And if you're not in New York and you would love to come, but you just, you're not in New York, you can't make it, I'm going to try to do some live streaming from the event. So on Tuesday at 7 to 9 Eastern, New York time, I'll be trying to live stream, sending pictures and stuff, so you can kind of join us in spirit. It'll be great.
Get drunk with us. We're fun.
Yeah, get your own sake. And
that's what you do. You get your sake, you get drunk with us.
Watch out for a lot of upcoming stuff. We have so many great ideas. It's just time that's a factor. So
we have so many ideas. We'll find out if they're great later.
Oh, they're great.
Anyway, thank you very much for joining us.
It's been fun as always.
It's always been fun.
If you're drinking with us, come by.
Yes, we have a lot of empty glasses now.
And
wait, no, we still have this one. Not empty.
No, I drank all mine.
No, you didn't. Nope. Clear one. Big clear one.
so good.
Isn't it?
No, that's this one.
Oh, I don't like that one.
He did like that one. You saw it. We got it on video. You loved it.
I thought it was a different one in that cup.
Come by. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
I can't believe how much these just open up when they're warm.
I'm gonna turn off the camera.
This one is the nature.
I'm not sure.
This one, so interesting when it opens up. I cannot believe it. It's so sour and bold and